Hello students. Today we will discuss the poem Ozymandias written by P.B. Shelley. Percy Bysshe Shelley was one of the major English romantic poets, widely regarded as one of the finest lyric and philosophical poets in the English language. Some of Shelley's best known works include Ode to the West Wind, To a Skylark, and Prometheus Unbound. This poem was written on December 1817 and published in 1818. The title Ozymandias notifies the reader that this land is most probably Egypt, since Ozymandias was what the Greeks called Ramses II, a great and terrible pharaoh in ancient Egypt. Pharaoh means an Egyptian king. Now, the structure of the poem. The poem follows the structure of the 14-line Italian sonnet. The first set of 8 lines are called octave and followed by a sestet, a set of 6 lines. Now we are starting the poem. The first line of the poem is, I met a traveler from an antique land. The poem starts with an encounter between the narrator and a traveler who comes from an antique land. Here we can say that I is personified with the poet himself, and antique land can be said as ancient Egypt also. Now the poem begins with their conversation. The speaker has never actually seen the land the traveler comes from, nor the statue that the traveler will go on to describe. In the next lines, who said, 2 vast and trunkless legs of stone stand in the desert. Vast means huge. This traveler told the narrator that he saw 2 huge stone legs of a statue in the middle of a desert. Trunkless suggests that the legs were standing there without the upper body. The desert indicates that it was ancient Egypt. In the next lines, near them on the sand, half sunk, a shattered visage lies there. Shattered means broken, visage means head or the face, we can say. The traveler also told that near the standing legs he also came across the broken head of the statue that was partially buried in the sand. Visage means a face, but it implies a head here. We can say here that the whole statue is destroyed, but we do not know what exactly happened to the statue. It may be the working of time that destroyed the natural luster of the statue. Now in the next lines, whose frown and wrinkled lip and sneer of cold command. The traveler continues his description of the expressions had been visible and identical with the mighty ruler Ozymandias. The words frown, wrinkled lip, sneer of cold used by the poet tell us that the person was upset or rather angry also. In the next line, tell that its sculptor well those passions read. In the next line, our attention is shifted to the sculptor who created this work of art. The traveler praises that the artist felt and understood his subject's passions and emotions very well. For that reason, he could draw the expressions of the face so perfectly. In the next lines, which yet survive, stamped on these lifeless things, the hand that mocked them and the heart that fed. The man shows his admiration to the sculptor for this work of art. According to the man, the sculptor was very much creative so that he could give life to those inanimate stones. His skill was superb so that those stones are now also able to portray their words. His creation is still alive through these lifeless stones. It is the ending of first 8 lines, means the octave portion. Now we are starting or explaining the sextet portion. And on the pedestal, those words appear. My name is Ozymandias, King of Kings. Now again the poem shifts to the statue. The traveler tells us about an inscription written at the foot of the statue, which finally reveals to us whom this statue represents. It is Ozymandias. He also regarded himself as the King of Kings. Ozymandias was one of the several Greek names for Ramses II of Egypt. In the next lines, look on my works, ye mighty, and despair. My works might refer to the famous temples and statues were built by the ancient Egyptian pharaoh Ramses II. So he now tells the other ruler to look at his achievements so that their pride for their work will be disillusioned after him. Here he also proves himself as a strong and powerful tyrant ruler. Nothing beside remains. Now the traveler is telling the fate of the statue. Though previously it was a magnificent work of art, it is now nothing but the ruins or remains of an object or a statue. As the statue is now destroyed, the engraving is a mockery at the pride and ego of the king. In the next lines, round the decay of that colossal wreck, boundless and bare, the lone and level sands stretch far away. Colossal means great, wreck means destruction. The statue broke down with the passage of time, and its broken pieces could be seen lying around. The vast desert stretched all around, and it seemed to be endless. Today, after the passage of so many centuries, finally there is no trace of the king's accomplishment in the vast stretch of the desert. Here is the ending of the poem. Now we will discuss about the main idea of the poem. Time, though it is four-lettered word, its impact can be felt every moment. Such a powerful thing is time. Nothing in this world can withstand opposing the inevitable work of time. It is our tendency to prove ourselves as a mighty or powerful creatures, but in the hands of time, we are just trivial things. Thematically, Ozymandias also thought himself as a powerful king of this world, as he could create envy in the heart of the fellow rulers. Then also his great empire could not survive facing the ravage of time. Now he is only a broken statue, nothing beyond this. Precisely, we can say everything of this earth is succumbed to destruction. Any human effort cannot withstand the ravaging force of time. None can evade the inevitable force of time. Such a powerful thing is time. Thank you.